Welcome back to Operation GameCube, the channel where I attempt to rebuild my GameCube collection from my childhood for no money out of pocket for reasons I detail all the way back in Chapter 1. And here we are in Chapter 14, and we're in my car. And we're in my car because we are going shopping today. That's right, I left you off at Chapter 13 with a bit of a personal challenge, and it's to go buy a game in person. You know, I bought 15 of the 20 games on my games list, and to this point, I haven't bought a single game in person. I think that's kind of the reality of collecting GameCube games in 2023. There aren't just, store shelves stocked with the games you want, but I haven't really tried. I've been really buying them all online individually, and I'd like to experience buying a game in store at least one time in this challenge. It was such a part of my childhood, going to the game store and picking games off the store shelf. We got to try to do that again here. And frankly, there's no time like the present because we are running out of games to buy. Let's bring that games list up to see what we're hunting for today. You can see there are 3 games listed by name left to buy: Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and then Simpsons Road Rage. If I find any of those 3 on a store shelf, I will be elated. More likely is this wild card down here in the bottom right corner, a low rating. Now, if I find any GameCube games on a store shelf today, I'm sure there will be some bad games with low ratings. The mindset around this wild card is I want a game that when it was released was not highly regarded. A 5 to 6 to 7 out of 10 is probably pushing it as the average rating that critics gave it when it was released. But I hope it's a game that has some redeeming qualities, a game that, as people reflect back on it, say, wow, this is actually kind of fun. That's my goal. So it's a pretty open slot. I'm sure I'll find games that technically qualify. It's whether or not I find one I want. The other wild card, it's going to be a challenge to fill today because it's a package deal. This guy is meant to have been a game that kind of comes along for a ride with a bundle purchase. When I started this, I think I thought I was going to be buying a lot more kind of bulk collections off Facebook or kind of community spaces, and that's just not been the way I've been buying games. So I'm running out of opportunities to buy bundles with only 5 games left. But I do have a little trick up my sleeve. If you remember all the way back in Chapter 4 when I revealed the first few games off the games list, Super Paper Mario, which is right there in a rare find category, was actually a part of a bundle. It came along with the GameCube from Chapter 3. So I could move it over to the package deal bundle wild card, and that would open back up a rare find. Of course, to do that, I need to find a rare game. So maybe, just maybe, on a store shelf, we will find a rare game sitting there that I don't have on the games list, and we'll pick it up. We'll find out. So we're gonna go shopping. I got a ton of money in the budget. We'll tally it all up at the end. I've got 5 games left to buy. I don't think I'm gonna get all 5 today, but who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky. We're gonna start by driving north to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's about 25 minutes away from where I live. There are a handful of game stores there. Let's see what we find on the store shelves, and let's see if we get lucky here as we go shopping for GameCube games. Well, we're here at the Video Games Etc. in Cedar Rapids. I've never been here before. You got to see my broken windshield as I pulled in. I know Video Game Etc's usually have some vintage games, so fingers crossed. Let's see what they got. So when I went inside, I noticed they had some GameCube games, some SpongeBob, a few racing games, Spider-Man down there in that corner, and a handful of sports games as you'd expect. Nothing really piqued my interest. They did have a few other titles tucked away in a glass case, but ultimately nothing I pulled the trigger on. We didn't pull the trigger on anything here at Stop 1. There were a few things that piqued my interest. Obviously the Pokemon Coliseum Player's Choice label, though, had been really good not buying a Player's Choice label game so far. If I had already mixed those into the collection, I might have been tempted to pick that one up for rare find. I'm just feeling like it's hard to make a purchase if I haven't gone to the other stores, right? If I buy something like that as the rare find game, is there another game that I'd rather have? The guy who I spoke with at the counter after I just stopped looking at what they had said there's another Video Games Etc. here in town that tends to get more high dollar and GameCube collection games traded in, so I'm gonna head over there as well. But I think there might be a GameStop nearby just down the road here. Low chance that they've got a game, but let's drive on over and see what GameStop's got as it relates to GameCube games here in 2023. This is going to be a pretty quick stop because GameStop doesn't exist anymore. Wah, 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 wah. All right, on to, I guess, the next Video Games Etc. Now, making my way inside the next Video Games Etc. store, quickly I realized they had quite a few GameCube titles. I made my way over to the interior shelves, and right away I was met by a handful of games that I was excited to see. You'll notice right there up in that corner there is a Metroid Prime. I do have that game already, but cool to see. You also see a Rogue Squadron game there on the shelf. Quite a few sports games, as you'd expect, but some other titles mixed in, like here's a Naruto game. Not interested in it, but was intrigued to see it. There were some nice titles mixed in. This one really piqued my interest, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, but it was not an original case. I thought maybe low rating, I don't know, I hadn't looked it up, but I made my way over to the glass cases, and that's when I saw it, right there. Do you happen to know if the Eternal Darkness has a manual?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Oh, I know. I'm rebuilding my GameCube collection from my childhood, and that's one that you just have to have it.
You need to get this one too, then.
I love Twilight Princess. I played it. I'm a little bit more towards the Wind Waker, unfortunately, right now. I'm trying to find that, and I can't seem to find it.
Check that out.
Oh, that looks really clean. That looks really clean, man. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is really clean.
Made the darkness.
Let's go! Are you kidding me? I tell you what, Eternal Darkness almost made my games list. I put Resident Evil 4 on the games list instead of Eternal Darkness under that atmospheric category. I kind of regretted it because Eternal Darkness is so cool. We're going to spend some time talking about what this game is later on, but we are officially moving Super Paper Mario out of the rare find category, and we're going to put Eternal Darkness in that spot. Absolutely, it's worthy of that spot. It is not a cheap game. I don't know if you saw the price tag on this bad boy, but we did spend, yikes, $100. Probably could have gotten it cheaper on eBay, maybe. I've seen this game on eBay. It goes for $100, especially in really clean condition. And let's take a quick look at it here. Don't always get original box when you go to game stores here, buying old games. But look at this guy. I know we took some shots taking it out of the case, but look at that. Perfectly clean disc. The manual is in here. It's in great shape. That is all 100% original. It's clean. This is the new rare find. What an awesome game to pick up. Again, we'll talk more about it later. But anyways, we're not done. We're going to keep going. Just over there, you can't see it, but there's a half-price books. Probably unlikely that they have a game like Eternal Darkness sitting on the store shelf, but worth taking a look. So let's see if the luck can continue, and let's head on over to half-price books. Now, I went inside, and to be honest, it took me a little while to find where the games were, but they did have a little game section. This little glass case was fun to look in. No GameCube peeking out, but Super Mario 3 there on the NES. And down here, a lot of Xbox 360, no Nintendo products here. So I was starting to think I might have struck out. I didn't see anything, even Nintendo, let alone other than the NES stuff up in the case, but no Wii, no GameCube. But then I found this other shelf, and here was the Wii, and look, tucked in this left corner were a few GameCube games, and this one in particular. I think we found our low rating game. I had this as a kid. I really liked it. Looking at the Metacritic, pretty low ratings, 6, 7. Who would have thought we'd find here in half-price books the game that we're going to get? We're going to pick this up. Well, how about that? We got a second game. Low rating. That's where this one's going. Maybe you could call this a quick trigger finger. I'm feeling excited after Eternal Darkness that I can find another game that I'm happy to add to the list. But I will tell you, I played Pac-Man World 1 and 2 as a kid, and I liked them. They're a goofy, weird 3D Pac-Man platformer. I think they're kind of fun. I enjoyed this game as a kid. I picked it up only like $17, so that's a great deal as well after spending $100 on Eternal Darkness. This feels right for a low rating game. It's a type of game that's simple, it's easy to play. I enjoyed it as a kid. I have a good memory of it. I'm happy to fill that slot with Pac-Man World 2. We have just purchased our final wildcard slot. That's exciting. All we have left now on our games list are 3 named games, which actually makes this a lot harder. But we've got one more stop here in Cedar Rapids to check out. You said there's maybe some GameCube up here? Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep, I see him. Hit and Run. That's a good game.
Yes, it is.
I'm
surprised no one's picked that up yet.
Yeah, I'm more partial, frankly, to Road Rage, but I do love Hit and Run. It's a good game. Yeah. You know, I played this as a kid, and then recently I heard someone describe it as Grand Theft Auto Simpson style, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it is. That's exactly what this is. And that I didn't realize that as a kid. That was not something I realized. Man, I tell you what, my heart almost skipped a beat there when I saw Homer. I thought maybe I'd found Road Rage on the store shelf. It was Hit and Run, great game, love that game. I just don't have room for it on the games list, right? These are the rules. I'm out of wildcard spots, and I want Road Rage more than I want Hit and Run. Hit and Run is fun. I owned it as a kid. I played it. Very fun game. $80. Wow. I'm not saying he overpriced it. I have no idea what it goes for. I haven't looked it up, but gonna have to leave it. Gonna have to leave it behind. Not for today. We are going to go to one more game store. Hopefully, that one has another game off my list. But I only have 3 games left. Well, I tell you what, they have some games here at my Coralville, video games, etc. Just nothing I need. If I had come here earlier, I mean, Smash Brothers. We've got an F-Zero game that would have been a great rare find. Looks like there's a Mario Party, not only 5 but 7. And then look at that, Twilight Princess. I can't escape Twilight Princess today. I found it at 2 different stores. I want Wind Waker though. So I've got to leave all of these on the store shelf. Hey, it's still been a wildly successful day. Let's head on back home and talk a little bit about the 2 games that we've picked up. And just like that, we're back here in my basement. But what a successful day. We visited 5 game stores. We got 2 games, but they were 2 great ones. Let's start with the big game of the day, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. As I said when I was walking out of that store, this one almost made the games list by name. It didn't. I'm so glad that I'm able to pick it up for that rare find. Beautiful, clean disc, has the manual. You know, this is a game that I played a little bit of as a kid, did not own it, did not beat it. My understanding of this game, it's a really nice hybrid survival, horror, adventure style game. It plays with a lot of the sanity concepts. So you are dealing with lots of unknown and weirdness occurring not only in the game but to you as the player, as your gameplay or as your player in the game starts to lose grip on reality, which is a trope of the game throughout the storyline. The game developers start doing weird things to you as the player. They'll mess with the volume in the game. They'll mess with the camera angle in the game. They'll mess with your items in the game. They'll even go as far as to make it look like your save file is corrupted. Just really creative, weird tropes. I mean, things that you don't do in games. I can't tell you a game I've played ever that does that level of breaking the fourth wall, if you will, to use a theater term. And so I'm just super excited to get to play this game. I love that I have another horror genre game on the games list here now, with Resident Evil 4, of course, being the other true horror game. I think you can call Metroid Prime horror adjacent, but it's really not quite in the same bucket as this one. And it's just a lovely, lovely find. What a fun thing to find in the wild, and put that on the games list. So let's pull up the games list. Let's officially move Paper Mario over there to that bundle package deal slot and fill in Eternal Darkness. But we aren't done with just Eternal Darkness. No, we aren't. Here we are with Pac-Man World 2. You know, as I mentioned in the car as I was picking this one up, which it is also complete in box with a label, and also it's the fun of buying used GameCube games. Look at this little dumb piece of paper that some DVD rental Mr. Movies had this as a rental item at one time. The world is a strange place. But anyways, yes, Pac-Man World 2. I've played this game before. I mean, as you can see behind me, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. I really like Pac-Man. I even have a Pac-Man cocktail arcade cabinet. I'm a big fan of Pac-Man, so it's perfect that Pac-Man World 2 has made it into my games list. This is exactly what I want for a rare find, or excuse me, not a rare find, exactly what I want for a low rating style game, a game that I have either fond memories of, which in this case I do, or a game that just has a little quirk to it that's just enjoyable and fun. And this is just a colorful, goofy, lighthearted platformer. It's not an amazing game, it's a fun game, and it was a cheap game. Let's tally up the money, the spend today, 107 on Eternal Darkness, after taxes. It's not nothing there, and a measly $16.04 on Pac-Man. Where does the budget sit? Well, coming into this, I had over $600 to spend. Not all of that came from video game reselling. A huge amount of it did. I've actually found a few more avenues to make some money for Operation GameCube, but they're just repeats of things I've done in previous channels. Things like those online betting apps that I found kind of new customer bonuses around, and I did another one of those and added some money to the old GameCube fund. So I've got more money than I need to close this thing out, but I technically entered this chapter with over $600 to spend, and after I bought both of these games, I am still sitting with a sizable budget of just over $500, $500.65. So more than enough to close this thing out. We are going to end this chapter right here. That means we have 3 games left. We have them all by name. We know that we need to get Wind Waker, we know we need to get Soul Calibur 2, and we know we need to get Simpsons Road Rage. I got the money to do it. Let's just let's close this thing out on the next chapter. So come on back. Hopefully you're having fun. I know I am. What a successful day. I'm super pumped. Thanks for watching Operation GameCube. This has been chapter 14. We've done some game hunting in the wild. I'll see you next time.